Hi everyone, my name is Kayla. Welcome to Power Flow. Today you're gonna need some light weights, not heavier than 5 pounds, a yoga strap, a yoga block, and a mat and a water. Grab those things and let's get started. Today we're gonna start in a standing mountain posture, getting grounded into all 4 corners of both of our feet, letting our palms and our hands rest by our hips, palms facing forward in front of us. And we're just gonna start with a few deep inhales and full exhales, getting all of that stale air out of our lungs. Igniting our ujjayi, our victorious breath. 2 more full cycles of breath here. Getting really rooted in today's practice. And I'm gonna have you take 2 more full breaths. Just getting grounded down, and I'm gonna read a little passage from this book, Perfectly Imperfect by Baron Baptiste. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. So let's set that intention for our flow today, letting our reality, letting our practice be our practice today, flowing how it feels good in our body. And on your next inhale, rise your hands up above your head and step that right foot back for a crescent lunge, coming to a 90-degree bend in that front left leg, bringing your gaze up over your fingertips. And breathe. We'll be here for 2 cycles of breath, full inhale, and complete exhale. Another full cycle of breath, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, open into Warrior 2, planting and pivoting that back right foot, opening up your chest, your hips to the side of the room, bringing your hands, reaching for either wall in front of you and behind you, and gazing gently over your left fingertips. Inhaling, elongating your spine. Exhale, sit 1 inch deeper into that front bent leg. One more full breath here. And inhale, rise for Warrior 3, kicking up onto your left leg, pointing your arms straight in front of you, and kicking your right leg straight to the wall behind you. Creating a flat back, a flat spine, and breathing. And release to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back for your first downward facing dog of the day. You can walk that dog out, wiggle your hips left to right, rotate forward to high plank, and then backward to downward facing dog. Just take some organic movement here. Really embodying our intention for today's flow, letting your body flow in a way that feels good. And coming back to your breath, full inhales, full exhales. And pivot forward for a high plank. Let's be here and let's move with a little bit of the beat of the music. On your exhale, tap right. Let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And come back to center. Let's find that beat again and let's tap to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Come back to center and lower your body all the way down to your mat. And come for a little Sphinx posture, aligning your elbows underneath your shoulders, feeling a supported back bend. Option to tilt your head back or just remain with your neck and your head in a neutral alignment. Take 2 full breaths here. Just a little bit of a rest as we get into the rest of our power flow, creating heat tapas. Inhale. Release. One more time, full inhale, filling your lungs. Emptying everything out. Pressing your hands into your mat, pushing back up into a downward facing dog. Exhale, plant your left knee to the mat. Bring your right leg out to the side. We're just gonna do a half star here. Excuse me. Bringing your right hand to rest on your left or your right leg. And just taking a small bend and stretch of your left side of your body. And breathe. Let's come back through center, planting your right knee down to the ground, popping your left leg out, and finding that full body stretch in the right side of your body. Breathing, inhaling, pulling your right fingertips 1 inch closer to the wall, to the left of you, and exhaling, holding into this posture, letting it melt and mold into your body. Take 2 more rounds of breath here, feeling strong in this posture. Last breath. And come back through center, planting your feet, and sit back for a small hero posture, feeling a nice stretch in the tops of your thighs. Maybe a little massage in your glutes from your heels. Take 2 breaths here. And when you're ready, curl your toes, tuck your feet, and press up into another downward facing dog. Inhaling fully, filling your lungs. And exhale. At the end of your exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale for halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Let your hands come to your mat. Your belly rest on your thighs. And setting up for chair pose, bring your toes to touch and let your heels fall 2 to 3 inches apart from each other. And inhale, rise for chair posture. Inhale your hands above your head, reaching towards the ceiling, creating straight, no bend in your arms. And exhale, sit 1 inch deeper into your chair posture today. Inhale, one more full cycle of breath. And exhale, step your right foot back for a crescent lunge here, keeping your hands up above your head, finding that bend in your front left leg. And breathe. Exhale, bring your your right knee down to the mat for a deep lunge. You can bring your hands to rest on your left knee or bring them all the way to the mat. And breathe, feeling that deep stretch in your hips. Inhale, come back to rise and step your feet back to touch. Exhale, sit low in your chair, bringing your big toes to touch, your heels out wide. And breathe. And step that left foot back this time for a crescent lunge. Inhaling the crown of your head 1 inch taller towards the ceiling. And exhaling, sitting 1 inch deeper into your lunge. Take one more full cycle of breath here. You are so strong. And release that left knee down to the mat. Finding a deeper bend in that right leg. Again, option to plant your hands on your mat or a block, or to plant on that right thigh. And breathe, just feeling that deep stretch in both of your hips. And this time, plant your hands on your release. Step that right knee back to meet your left. And we're just gonna pause here for a little bit of cat-cows. Inhaling, lifting your head, dropping your belly for a cow posture. Then exhaling, arching your back, pulling your spine up towards the ceiling. Take 4 cat-cow rotations to the pace of your breath. Two more cycles of cat-cow. Just continuing our movement, our flow. Last one. We're gonna step it back for a high plank. And on our inhales, we're coming to high plank. Exhale, we're pressing back into downward facing dog. Move with your breath. Inhale, high plank. Release, down dog. Inhale for high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do 4 more of these. Inhaling to high plank. And releasing to downward facing dog. 3 more, high plank. Release to downward facing dog. Last 2, here you go. You are so capable, you are so strong. 1 more, moving with your breath, inhaling to high plank. And releasing to downward facing dog. And go ahead, plant your knees and just press back for a little bit of a child's pose. Release any tension that popped up in your low back. Take 2 full breaths here. Press up and lower your body all the way down to your mat. And we're gonna do a locust posture here. Allow the palms of your hands to face the floor, the tops of your feet to touch the floor. Take 1 rest breath here. And inhale, lift your feet, lift your shoulders, lift your head up off the ground. Hold for 2 full cycles of breath here. You are so strong. And release your left cheek down to the mat. Take 1 rest breath here. Inhale, peel your shoulders back up, kick your feet up, pull up, look up, flow up. Hold for 2 breaths. You are so strong. 1 more full breath. And releasing your right cheek down to the mat. And now kick your feet up so that they're perpendicular to your mat. Maybe windshield wiper those legs. Get a little bit more loose. And we're gonna set up for floor bow. On your next inhale, grab the backs of your ankles with your hands. Breathe out. And inhale, kick, lift, pull your upper body up. Kick into your hands as much as your hands pull into your ankles. Hold for one whole breath. Inhaling deeply and releasing. And let go of your ankles. Windshield wiper your legs for a little bit of a release here. And in your time, press yourself up back into a hero's posture. Feeling that deep stretch in the tops of your thighs. And just take a breath here. One more full breath. Releasing. And inhale, come up onto your knees for camel posture. This is a great place to use a block or gently press into the backs of your hips with your hands. You're gonna let your head fall heavy behind you. This is a great heart opener. Option to stay here, option to go a little bit deeper and reach for a block, or come to your ankles for camel posture. And if anything feels tight or uncomfortable, just come back to the next modification or variation from where you were. And inhale slowly and gently. Come back up out of your camel posture. Plant your hands down. Push your hips up for downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high to the sky. And exhale, step it through to meet your hands. Plant your left foot down and open up the left side of your body for an extended side angle. And breathe. And we're gonna actually straighten our front leg just to open and make a small change into a triangle posture. Breathing. Take 2 full cycles of breath here in your triangle. And release, stepping your left foot a little bit closer to your right foot, and keep your feet parallel as if they were on train tracks. And just take a forward fold for humble warrior. Option to find a slight bend in that forward right leg. For alignment, it's just important to make sure that your belly makes contact with your right thigh. And breathe. And plant your hands, step your feet back to downward facing dog. Take a restful breath here. Lift your left leg high to the sky. And on your exhale, step it through to meet your hands. Plant your right heel down and open your right side of the body for extended side angle. Bringing your gaze up over your right fingertips. An option to let your left elbow rest on your left thigh, or bring your left hand all the way down to the mat. Whatever feels good for your body today. Take 2 cycles of breath here. Inhaling, pulling the crown of your head to the wall in front of you. And exhaling, pressing into your left thigh, opening up the right side of your body 1 degree closer to the wall behind you. And on your next exhale, straighten your front leg just to find a minor change shift for triangle pose. Same thing, exhaling and pushing your right side of your body open 1 degree closer to the wall behind you. Release, step that right foot up closer to your left foot. Align your feet like they're parallel on train tracks. And stay bended for humble warrior. Take a small bend in that left leg if needed so that your belly can meet your thigh. And breathe, let your head fall heavy. And release, plant your hands, step your feet back for a downward facing dog. And let's flow forward for a high plank. And plant your knees down onto the mat. We'll take one more hero posture as we transition again, just allowing our body to get that deep stretch in the top of our thighs. Maybe for this one, bringing your hands to interlace behind your back, opening your chest a little bit. Take 2 more cycles of breath here. Inhaling fully and holding at the top of your inhale. And then gently releasing, exhaling. 1 more of those breaths. And let's release, let's come through center into a seated posture. We're gonna set up for yogi's boat posture. Let's use weights for this one. So grab your weights, again, not heavier than 5 pounds. We're gonna kick our feet to a slight bend, creating almost like our calves are parallel to the ground. We're gonna hold our hands up, and let's do 5 of these. We're gonna do chest flies, opening our arms, and exhaling, bringing them back in. Inhale, open, exhale, bring them back in. 3 more, exhale, bring them back in. Move with your breath, 2 more. Last one, drop the weights, hug your calves, your legs, your thighs, pulling your belly in to make contact with the tops of your thighs. And just take a restful breath here. We're gonna do 3 more rotations of this boat posture with weights. So take 1 more good rest breath in between. We're creating a strong core, so no matter where you are today, let's come back to our intention. Letting this posture, letting this flow how it is in our body. Inhale, opening your arms. Exhale, closing. Inhale, opening. Exhale, closing. 2 more. Last one, drop your weights, hug it in. We're gonna do 2 more sets of those weighted boat postures today. You are so strong. You are doing it. Core is so important for stability, for all of our other postures. All right, grab those weights, here we go. Kick those feet up and inhale, open your arms. Exhale, closing them. 4 more. Move with your breath. Connect these motions to your breath. Last one, here we go. Drop the weights, hug it in. Pull your spine up towards the ceiling. Really feel that release of tension. We've got one more set. You are so strong. Here we go. Release everything, pick up your weights, kick your feet up. Last one. Inhale your arms out. Exhale your arms in. Three more. Last two. Here we go, last one. Release and roll it all the way back. Hug your knees in, sway side to side, give yourself a little low back massage after that difficult core work. Just gonna move my microphone quick. And then let's move into happy baby. So go ahead and grab the bottom of your feet and just do another little low back massage, rocking from side to side, releasing any tension or pressure that's come up for you through that core work. Let's inhale, rock yourself back up to a seated posture. I'm gonna move my weights out of the way. We're gonna do a single leg seated extension. So kick your right leg out in front of you, bring your left foot tucked in, touching the inner part of your right thigh. This is a great option to use a yoga strap. So options here, we're gonna inhale, lengthen our spine, and on your exhale, you're gonna fold forward. Options to use a strap to pull your body down and forward. Options to grab your foot with your hands. Options to take a small bend and fold forward. But either way, creating contact with the top of your thigh to your belly. So whatever variation of this posture that you are in, fold forward, go there, and keep breathing. We're gonna be here for a few breaths for this really deep stretch of the back of our thigh. Let's do 2 more cycles of breath, inhaling fully and releasing. One more breath. Inhale, slowly rise up 1 vertebrae at a time. And we'll switch to the left leg for a seated leg extension here. Options are the same. You can grab your foot, you can use a strap, you can find a bend in your leg. Inhale, elongate your spine, pulling the crown of your head to the ceiling. And exhale, fold, forward fold. And let your head lie heavy, fall heavy. And breathe, noticing the sensation of each inhale and your chest rising, pressing into your thigh. And exhaling, finding a little bit more ease in this fold, in this posture. Let's take 1 more breath here. And release, rise up. And let's move in to a child's posture really quick. Hold there for a few breaths. I'm gonna cue the music again. And in this child's pose, take a little bit of a moment to massage your forehead, moving your head from side to side. You can do an activated child's pose, reaching your hands out long, pressing into the mat, pushing your hips 1 inch closer to into your heels. And breathing. And on your next inhale, press up. Let's come through tabletop. Cross our legs, come through a seated position. And we're gonna come all the way down, back onto our back. This is a great place to use a block. You can set it under your low back, or you can use your hands, or your hands can rest at your side for a waterfall posture, bringing your legs perpendicular to the floor, flexing your feet almost as if you were gonna stamp the bottom of your feet onto the ceiling. And breathe. And inhale, rotate into shoulder stand, supporting the backs of your hips with your hands and pointing your toes this time up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Holding shoulder stand today, we'll go 3 cycles of breath. Being sure to support your low back with your hands. And make sure that your weight is evenly distributed from your elbows through your shoulders and not on your neck. Breathe. And slowly move your way into plow pose, letting your feet fall behind your head towards the ground. Touching the ground if you can, meeting a block if that feels comfortable, and breathing. One more breath here. And bend your legs, bringing your knees towards your ears for deaf man's pose. Hold for 2 breaths. And slowly, using your hands to support your hips, roll out of that posture. Come into a Supta Baddha Konasana, letting the soles of your feet touch, your knees falling out wide to the sides of your mat. Just for a release of that low back, bring a hand to your belly, a hand to your chest. And breathe. Taking very intentional breaths here. Inhaling for 3 full counts. Holding at the top. And exhaling for 3 full counts. Let's do 3 more of those breaths. Inhale for 3. Hold. Exhale for 3. Inhale for 3. Hold. Exhale for 3. Last one, inhale. Hold at the top. And exhale for 3. And let's come to plant our feet on the mat. Just having a bend in our legs. And let's do a reclined leg stretch, allowing your right ankle to come to your left thigh. Option to stay here, option to grab with your hands behind your left thigh and hug and squeeze in for a deep stretch in your right thigh. And breathe. 2 more breaths. Last one. And release. Slowly come out, letting your feet meet again on the mat. And windshield wiper your legs, letting your knees fall from side to side for a few cycles. And then come back through center, finding some stillness. And let's do the other side, letting your left ankle meet your right thigh. Option to stay here. Option to grab the back of your right thigh and squeeze in for a deep hip stretch through the back of that left hip. And breathe. Last full breath here. And releasing your legs long. Let's sit up, roll up, come through an easy seated posture. We're gonna plant our hands, step back to a downward facing dog. Take a breath in your downward facing dog while I clip my microphone back on. And on your next inhale, lift your right leg high to the sky. Shake it out, take some movement that you need. And exhale, bringing that right leg or that right thigh parallel to the top of your mat for pigeon pose today. Another great place to use a block underneath your right hip or for your forehead to meet. When you feel ready, bow forward, bow down to a mat, to your shoulders, your forearms, to a block, whatever feels good in your body today. And breathe in this another deep hip opener. We're gonna be here for several breaths. Noticing that you might find tension in your body in this posture, but it also might be a posture that's difficult for your mind. And when your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Just acknowledge where it's gone and redirect your thoughts towards your breath. Inhaling for 3 full counts, holding at the top of your inhale, and releasing, exhaling for 3 full counts. Take 3 rounds of those breaths. Last one. And slowly press up out of your pigeon posture. Tuck your left toes. Press up for a 3-legged dog. Shake out your right leg. And gently set it back down on the mat next to your left leg. Inhale your left leg high to the sky. Take a little bit of movement here. And sweep that left leg through for a half pigeon on the other side. Allowing your right hip to align right over the heel of your left foot. Taking a breath here, allowing yourself to stay propped or coming all the way down to your mat, your forearms, or a block. We're gonna get a deep stretch on this side too. We'll be here for several breaths. Once again, noticing where your mind tends to wander and which postures feel difficult mentally versus physically, or maybe both.
trying to find stillness, both physically and mentally, in this half pigeon. And letting your reality be your reality today. Two more full breaths here.
And gently press yourself back up out of your half pigeon, curling your right toes and pushing up into three-legged dog, shaking out that left leg and gently setting it back down to meet your right leg. Releasing, coming to a tabletop posture. Excuse me. And then coming all the way through a seated pose and back down onto our backs. We just have a few minutes left. So we're gonna do a little bit of spinal twists here. Letting your feet plant down onto the mat and bringing your knees to a bend. Windshield wiper those knees for a few moments. And then let both knees fall over to the left side, grabbing the outside of your right thigh with your left hand. And bringing your gaze over your right shoulder towards your right fingertips. And just feeling fully supported by the ground in this deep spinal stretch. Take several breaths here. Few more breaths. Last breath in this supine twist. Come back through center, hugging your knees into your chest, finding a little bit of release in your low back, wiggling and rocking side to side, and planting your feet back down to the mat. Windshield wiper your legs, your knees from side to side. Ultimately, letting your knees fall over to the right side. And bringing your gaze over your left fingertips, your left shoulder. Just balancing out our twist. And feeling that deep spinal stretch and twist to the right. Few more breaths in this posture today. And inhale, come back through center. Windshield wiper your legs. And then gently come back through to a seated posture. And that's our power flow today. Well done. We can bring our hands to heart center. As always, the light in me honors and adores the light in you. Thank you for joining me. Together we'll bow and say namaste. As always, thanks for joining my power flow class. I also teach a meditation. Feel free to join that if that suits you. If not, we'll see you next week for Power Flow. Thanks.
I'm Sarah, and this is Cardio Dance. Are you guys ready to work out? Let's do it.
Through the bag. Go. You guys where you want to go?
Last 10 seconds. I'm right here with you. Let's do it. Welcome to the Y. My name is Erin. I'm Jennifer. My name is Linda.
My name is Tommy, and today we're going to do a quick step routine.
We feeling like we can conquer the world today? I wish you all could smell it. It smells so good.
Time. We get